My name is Caleb Wages, and today my team and I will be talking about different communication barriers in the workplace. I will be going first about attitude barriers, talking about having a bad attitude or just at least appearing like you have a bad attitude. My coworker and second speaker, Alex Harkey, will be talking about the physical barriers in the workplace. He's got a really good presentation in store for that. He's going to be talking about the physical barriers behind like cell phones and things like that that can cause distractions or keep you from being motivated in the workplace. Now our third speaker, Adrian Donnelly, his speech is a little bit of a mystery right now, so he wanted to keep that a secret for you guys and even from us because he wanted it to be a surprise. So that's why he's going last, and Mr. Donnelly will make sure to blow you all away with that speech. So we'll go ahead and get started into the communication barriers with having a bad attitude. So one thing I like to ask everyone is, have you ever experienced someone that seems like they have a bad attitude for no reason? Well, my next question will be, how long have you been married? But we're going to have to keep this related to the business side of everything. So to get everything started with, this is what you look like when you have a bad attitude. So we need to keep you from looking like that. So I'm going to be showing you how to be aware of your inherent bad attitude. So I go to Texas A&M, and I've done many business courses related to this, and I've sat in on many seminars that talk about how you can have a negative effect on listeners or speakers, and so how to kind of prevent you from doing that. And so appearing to have a bad attitude is detrimental to your teamwork, but it's not that hard to correct. Just as being more attentive can change the way that your attitude is viewed, and we're going to get talking into that here pretty shortly. And so all you got to do to kill that bad attitude is just be more attentive and show more interest. So this is what happens when you have bad attitude. You are sinking the boat. So you don't want to be this guy while you make your other teammate just continue rowing for you while you just sit there and sink that boat. So not appearing to pay attention or fidgeting while someone is talking can be a huge factor of making you appear like you have a negative attitude towards them personally or towards what they're saying in general. So according to Gallup, only 34% of workers are engaged in what is going on. So the other percentage of that would be a lot of people that appear to have that bad attitude. So when there's only 1/3 of the workers engaged at work, obviously that leads to terrible teamwork. That leads to you being this guy here sinking that boat. So the problem that needs to be addressed here is how that creates huge animosity towards your teammates. So I'm sure you can see how this team member that is massively just hovering in the air trying to row this boat while the other team is sinking that can cause a pretty big animosity. Another good example of animosity towards their teammates would be Antonio Brown, which he is here later in that slide, so we'll get talking on that here in just a moment. So one thing that is important is these little things lead to the big things. So if you're fidgeting with objects while someone's talking, you can make it's just a small thing that you're doing that can make them appear really uninterested in what you have to say and lead to that animosity towards you. So what you can do instead is take notes or look them in the eyes while they speak to you. So you don't have to be taking notes, but at least you can be looking at them or looking them in the eyes to show them that you have at least some sort of attentiveness towards what they're saying. And according to Gallup, having a higher retention rate and productivity increases your profits by 21%. So if you can do these things, you can increase your productivity and your retention rates, according to Gallup, which will then in turn increase your profitability by 21%. So when you're doing things like this, playing with your hair, looking off into space, doing whatever she appears to be doing, the speaker doesn't feel like they're being heard when they're speaking to you. And so one of the big problems here is making your coworkers' voices feel heard. And so this might be a coworker that you don't feel like has great opinions, which is fine, but you could at least use their opinions to brainstorm off of. So if you're at least paying attention or showing them that you're paying attention, you could use their opinions to start your own brainstorming and spark some interest in your own personal thoughts towards what the team could be doing to increase their productivity. And so, according to Pay Scale, attentiveness to coworkers increases teamwork by 42%. So if you just at least look like you're paying attention, 42% of the time your team is going to be a lot more productive, and you really didn't even do anything other than just look like you were paying attention. So like I was talking about earlier, Antonio Brown would be one of the worst examples of sportsmanship and teamwork you could possibly imagine. That's also why his team didn't do very well, and why there was always animosity between him and the quarterback, and why he was constantly in the news media, and his coaches were always talking about how they can't overcome that anchor that's strapped to their leg, referring to Antonio Brown. So, if you're just attentive to your coworkers, then you're more likely to not appear to have a bad attitude. And a big example of this, other than Antonio Brown being the negative side, would be a positive side, is according to Forbes, the Greyhound Bus Company achieved its success strictly by their teamwork. And so they were rated out on a scale of 1 to 5 out of all the companies in the world. They were given a 4.8 on their teamwork and ability to work together. And so obviously this solution works because Greyhound Bus overcame all of its competitors just by their teamwork and by being good teammates to one another. So as stated earlier, the benefits are increased profitability by 21% and increased productivity. And so the problem here is not hard to fix. So to increase that productivity and that profit margin, all you got to do is just pay attention, be polite, and just take notes. It's not something that, we're not asking you to build rocket ships here, we're just asking you to take notes. And so according to Entrepreneurship Helper, the best way to start something is just to jump right in. And so with that being said, all you got to do is be more attentive and just start tomorrow. That's all you got to do. Just start tomorrow. Just go to work, take notes, pay attention to your coworkers, and you'll be able to get that going right away. And so this solution will make people want to work with you because it shows them that they are important. And so when they feel important, they're going to want to be a better teammate because they feel wanted in that team, and they're going to want to be there and want to be a part of it. And so another example is Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and Investopedia are all companies that actively pursue this teamwork and are constantly encouraging each other to be better team members, and constantly encouraging their readers to be better team members as well, and be better towards their coworkers. So all you got to do is practice by taking notes while someone is talking. This shows you care. We talk about that here. Be a better team member. And another big thing would be don't lean back in your chair during meetings, because that was something that is not, it doesn't seem polite, it doesn't seem like you're paying attention. You look unenthusiastic. Sit up straight, make eye contact, take notes. That will increase your productivity and then lead to that higher profit margin, as we've been saying here before. And just to go back to, all it takes is just do it. Just be Nike, just do it. Just go to work, take those notes, be more productive, just dive in the next day. And here's an example of what you should not be doing when you're leaning back in your chair. Obviously, this guy is a horrible teammate, and nobody will want him to be on their team. And so the Wall Street Journal says that a businessman that sits up straight and pays attention is the guy that's most likely to get a promotion because they probably have the best work ethic. So in this previous slide, like I was saying, don't be that guy. Because according to Wall Street Journal, he's not the one that their boss is going to pick for those promotions or to pick to be a team leader. So in conclusion, bad attitudes, bad teamwork. Be more attentive, increase your productivity and profitability. Be more like the New England Patriots. They are always succeeding because of their teamwork, because they have a great leaders under Bill Belichick. They don't have the best athleticism, but they're just great teammates towards each other. Nobody puts each other down, and that's what you need to be to win. And so this will work at your workplace. Now, I don't know if it'll work at home, because the last time I tried to take notes while my fiance was mad at me, I got a shoe thrown at me. So don't try it at home, but I promise it'll work in the workplace. And so our next speaker will be Alex Harkley. He'll be continuing on these presentations, but going through the physical barriers of that. So please give him a warm welcome, and he'll be out here shortly. Thank you.